Did you know? Every time you learn something new, your brain physically changes. It sounds unbelievable at first, the idea that your thoughts and experiences can reshape your brain. But it's true, and it's happening to you right now. Every time you read a new word, practice a new skill, solve a puzzle, or even remember a childhood moment, your brain is rewiring itself, forming new connections and strengthening old ones. This amazing ability is called neuroplasticity, and it's the reason you can grow, adapt, and keep learning no matter your age. Let us take a deeper look at how this works and why it matters more than ever. What is neuroplasticity? The word neuroplasticity is a combination of two parts, neuro meaning nerve or nervous system, referring to the brain, and its neurons, plasticity meaning malleable or flexible. So neuroplasticity literally means the brain's ability to change. For most of the 20th century, scientists believed that the brain was fixed after childhood, like a machine with a set number of parts. You were born with a certain number of brain cells, and once they were damaged or lost, that was it. But modern neuroscience has turned that belief upside down. We now know that the brain is constantly adapting, reshaping itself in response to learning, experience, environment, injury, and even thought. How learning changes the brain. To understand how learning reshapes your brain, you need to know about neurons. Your brain contains around 86 billion neurons, tiny, specialized cells that send electrical signals. These neurons communicate through structures called synapses, which are like bridges between cells. Each time you learn something new or form a memory, certain neurons fire together, and new synapses are created. Over time, repeated use of those neural pathways strengthens the connection. It's like walking the same path through a forest. The more often you walk it, the clearer and faster it becomes. This is often summarized in the phrase, neurons that fire together, wire together. In contrast, if a path is rarely used, the brain may weaken or prune that connection. That's why skills fade when not practiced, and also why bad habits can be unlearned. The brain of a violinist. One of the most famous studies on neuroplasticity involved violin players. Researchers found that professional violinists had larger and more developed areas of the brain responsible for finger movement in their left hand, the hand used to press strings. The more years of practice a violinist had, the more developed that region became. Their brains had literally reshaped themselves to fit the demands of their skill. The same has been observed in taxi drivers, athletes, language learners, and even people recovering from strokes or brain injuries. The brain can adapt, often in extraordinary ways. The power of thought here is something even more astonishing. You don't always have to physically perform an action to change your brain. Thinking alone can cause neuroplastic changes. In one experiment, two groups of people were studied. One group physically practiced playing piano. The other group simply imagined themselves playing. After several weeks, both groups showed similar changes in brain structure. The act of visualizing the task activated and strengthened the same neural circuits as actually doing it. This shows just how powerful your thoughts, focus, and imagination can be. Rewiring after trauma. Neuroplasticity is not just for learning, it is also the brain's secret weapon for healing. After a stroke or brain injury, some people regain lost abilities by rerouting brain activity to new regions. It's as if the brain builds detours around the damaged areas, helping patients walk, speak, or write again. Therapists and neuroscientists now use neuroplasticity to help people recover from stroke, chronic pain, depression, trauma and PTSD, addiction, obsessive thoughts, and anxiety. In each case, the idea is the same. By changing thoughts, habits, and experiences, you can reshape the brain in positive ways. Children vs. adults. Children's brains are incredibly plastic. That's why they can learn languages quickly, pick up motor skills like walking or writing, and bounce back from injury more easily than adults. But here's the good news. Neuroplasticity doesn't stop when you grow up. It might slow down and change form, but your adult brain is still capable of incredible growth, especially when it's challenged. Lifelong learning, problem solving, reading, exercising, and trying new things all stimulate the brain and keep it flexible. So, yes, you can teach an old brain new tricks. Neuroplasticity in the digital age. Neuroplasticity can be good or bad because your brain changes no matter what you feed it. If you constantly scroll through social media, multitask, or chase notifications, your brain adapts, but not in ways that help with focus, memory, or calm. It becomes wired for distraction, and attention spans shrink. On the other hand, if you engage in deep work, learn new skills, or practice mindfulness, your brain rewires itself to support clarity, emotional regulation, and intelligence. The takeaway: you shape your brain every day, whether you're aware of it or not. How to use neuroplasticity to your advantage. Here are ways to engage your brain's plastic power. Learn new things regularly. Try a new language, instrument, or hobby. Challenge your brain. Do puzzles, strategy games, or mental math. Use repetition. Practice helps build and strengthen connections. Visualize mentally. Rehearsing skills reinforces brain circuits. Be mindful. Meditation increases brain density in areas tied to focus and emotional control. Exercise. Physical activity boosts memory and brain growth. Sleep well. Sleep consolidates memories and supports brain repair. Final thoughts: you are not fixed. The most powerful thing about neuroplasticity is what it teaches us about ourselves. You are not fixed. You are not limited by your past, your habits, or even your mistakes. Your brain is a living, changing, growing network of possibilities. And every time you learn something, every time you make a choice, you are literally reshaping who you are. So go ahead, read the book, try the skill, face the challenge, change your mind, because your brain is listening, and it's ready to change again and again.